One.
The story of young Goodman Brown is a short story about a newlywed who is a religious and pious man named Goodman Brown, who sets off on a journey into the forest because he feels there's where he's supposed to meet someone. He leaves behind his wife, who he has only been married to for 3 months, named Faith, to meet this man in the forest who really is the devil. When he meets the devil tells him that he's been waiting for young Goodman Brown too long. Then they proceed to walk through the forest together. While walking through the forest together, Goodman Brown stops and tells the devil he doesn't want to walk any further. But the devil tells him, I had these same walks with your father and grandfather. And Goodman Brown continues to walk with the devil. While walking on this path, he runs into people from his village inside the forest. But what shocked him the most is when he seen his wife at the devil's meeting. He flips out and turns down the devil's offer and try to make his wife do the same. Goodman Brown starts to see the people whom he found with his wife differently. He loses his faith and feels everything he was ever told was a lie. Years later, he died, and there was no spiritual quote on his tombstone. And right here I have images that I drew that represents what happened in young Goodman Brown. The first image is young Goodman Brown telling his wife that he's going on this journey through the forest because he feels that he needs to. And his wife Faith, with the pink ribbon that he sees everywhere he goes, telling him that he shouldn't go right now, that he should wait till the next day to go. On this next image is when he makes it to the forest and the devils are sitting on a tree stump and he's telling him that he waited for him for too long, but they end up proceeding to walk through the forest. On this next picture, this is the images when Goodman Brown tells the devil that he doesn't want to walk any further because he's tired and he wants to turn back because he thinks he went too far. But the devil, in a calm voice, explains to him that if he wants to go back, he'll let him go back. He has no, and that's what made people think that it wasn't the devil. But when you really look at it, like, you can see. And he tells him that he had these same walks with his father and grandfather, and this is the village that he helped his father burn down. As they continue to walk through, as Goodman Brown proceeds to walk with the devil, they walks on his path and he sees the people from his village. These are people that he's seen often. But what really shocked him the most is when he seen his wife Faith, and here was the pink ribbon again. And he tells the devil that he doesn't want to do whatever he wanted, whatever he was set out to do. So he tried to tell his wife to do the same. As time goes by, Goodman Brown started to look at everybody differently, and he really loses his faith. He doesn't believe in God and things like that. So on this image right here is when he dies years later, and everybody else's tombstone has quotes, and they have crosses on there. But Goodman Brown, since he lost his faith, he was so cold-hearted, he didn't believe in anything, that he don't have anything on his tombstone, not even a cross or no spiritual quote. Okay, here I have the 3 main characters from young Goodman Brown: the devil, Faith, and Goodman Brown himself. Goodman Brown is a godly man whose curiosity leads him to accept an invitation from a mysterious traveler to observe an evil cemetery in the middle of the forest. Goodman Brown. Faith is Goodman Brown's wife, who is a young, beautiful, and she's the only person who tried to tell Goodman Brown not to head to the forest because she knew something was going to happen. The old man, or if you want to call him the devil, the man who gets Goodman Brown to walk into the cemetery in the middle of the forest.
Young Goodman Brown by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Young Goodman Brown came forth at sunset into the street at Salem Village, but put his head back after crossing the threshold to exchange a parting kiss with his young wife. And Faith, as the wife was actually named, thrust her own pretty head into the street, letting the wind play with the pink ribbons of her cap while she called to Goodman Brown. "Dearest heart," whispered she, softly and rather sadly, when her lips were close to his ear. "Prithee put off your journey until sunrise, and sleep in your own bed tonight. A lone woman is troubled with such dreams and such thoughts that she's afeard of herself sometimes. Please tarry with me this night, dear husband, of all nights in the year." "My love and my faith," replied young Goodman Brown, "of all nights in the year, this one night must I tarry away from thee. My journey, as thou callest it, forth and back again, must needs be done twixt now and sunrise. What, my sweet pretty wife, dost thou doubt me already, and we but 3 months married?" "Then God bless you," said Faith with the pink ribbon, "and may you find all well when you come back." "Amen," cried Goodman Brown. "Say thy prayers, dear Faith, and go to bed at dusk, and no harm will come to thee." So they parted, and the young man pursued his way until, being about to turn the corner by the meeting house, he looked back and saw the head of Faith still peeping after him with a melancholy air, in spite of her pink ribbons. "Poor little Faith," thought he, for his heart smote him. "What a wretch am I to leave her on such an errand? She talks of dreams, too." He thought as she spoke there was trouble in her face, as if a dream had warned her what work is to be done tonight. But no, 'twould kill her to think it. Well, she's a blessed angel on earth, and after this one night, I'll cling to her skirt and follow her to heaven.
So
With
he
this
still has his
excellent
faith
resolve for
at
the
the
future, Goodman Brown felt himself justified in making more haste on his present evil purpose. He had taken a dreary road, darkened by all the gloomiest trees of the forest, which barely stood aside to let the narrow path creep through, and closed immediately behind. It was all as lonely as could be, and there is this peculiarity in such a solitude, that the traveler knows not who may be concealed by the innumerable trunks and the thick boughs overhead, so that with lonely footsteps he may yet be passing through an unseen multitude. "There may be a devilish Indian behind every tree," said Goodman Brown to himself, and he glanced fearfully behind him as he added, "What if the devil himself should be at my very elbow?" His head being turned back, he passed a crook of the road, and, looking forward again, beheld the figure of a man, in grave and decent attire, seated at the foot of an old tree. He arose at Goodman Brown's approach, and walked onward side by side with him. "You are late, Goodman Brown," said he. "The clock of the Old South was striking as I came through Boston, and that is full 15 minutes ago." "Fate kept me back a while," replied the young man, with a tremor in his voice, caused by the sudden appearance of his companion, though not wholly unexpected. It was now deep dusk in the forest, and deepest in that part of it where these two...
As you can see in scene 1, young Goodman Brown is going back and forth with his wife, Faith. Because Faith doesn't want Goodman Brown to go into the forest, because she feels that something is wrong with it. But Goodman Brown goes against it and says, "We only been married for 3 months, and you're going against me already?" And she says, "Okay, well, I'm going to be with you." And he tells her to go to bed and things like that. So as he goes into the forest, he still knows that she's watching him. So he looks back and he still sees her pink ribbon everywhere. But as he makes it to Salem, he meets up with the old man. And the old man, which is the devil, tells him that he's late. And if anybody knows how far Boston is from Salem, that's not no 15-minute walk. So for him to make it from Boston to Salem in 15 minutes, Goodman Brown should have knew something was wrong with that, but he didn't. So as they walking through, they talking, and that's the end of scene 1.